present. Councilmember Santa Maria?
Here.
Councilmember Sneddon?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Friedman?
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez, not present. Councilmember Jordan, not present. Mayor Rouse?
Here. Very good. You have an item to read.
Item 1, Public Employment City Attorney, Government Code Section 54957B1 and 54957.6, as described in Agenda Item Number 1.
All right, very good. Do we have public comment that have been turned in?
Let's see, we have one hand raised online.
Okay, very good. And with that, we're going to close the admission of speaker slips here at 9:10, as well as hands online. Okay. How many speaker slips do we have, Nicole? Is that on the side? Okay, so I have a fair amount of speaker slips here. We have folks waiting for time-certain interviews. So the comments today are not on general public issues, they're on this item only. And you get to speak, but we're going to be 1 minute each at the most. Please do not hold up or wave your signs in chambers. I'd appreciate that. Okay. We'll start out with Anna. 1 minute, please, on the timer, Madam Clerk.
Sorry. Do you want to go to the next person? Let me pull it.
Yeah, we got to keep moving here. Emily Pelstring.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Pelstring and I've been a tenant in Santa Barbara since 2021. I'm here to speak on the hiring of a new city attorney. I emphasize that this hire should be an expert in state and city tenant laws and should prioritize a rent stabilization ordinance. The new city attorney should be well equipped to prosecute landlords who harm our community through any unlawful behavior. With all the other shenanigans going on with the delay of the rent stabilization ordinance, I hope that the right choice is made in this case. By the way, last week's this meeting was on mute the whole time, so none of us online could hear anything, and therefore we couldn't raise our hands for public comment because we didn't know what was happening. So just wanted to throw that in there. Thank you.
All right, very good. And I'll admonish you guys as we go forward, too, that the city attorney does not make policy. Okay, okay, Anna, go ahead.
Okay, so as you move forward with selecting our new city attorney, I urge you to prioritize a candidate who deeply understands tenant protections, housing justice, and rent stabilization policies. This role is about legal expertise and leadership that reflects the current urgent response in our housing crisis. This is an urgent moment. Federal housing funds continue to be cut that are and will greatly impact veterans, transitional age youth, families formerly unhoused, and immigrant communities. And housing programs, including vouchers, are not realistic options to support all our rent-burdened tenants. Currently, an individual making a minimum wage needs 274% of the annual household income to afford a studio. Because how will we locally provide housing affordability solutions if our local housing trust fund remains with no real long-term permanent solution for funding? We must act locally with urgency for strong tenant protections.
Thank you. Clay Hawkins?
Other way around.
Hawkins, oh, there's your actually.
Yeah, it's a weird one. My name is Hawkins Clay. I'm a physics PhD candidate at UCSB. I've lived here for 5 years now, working towards my degree, and I've had a slew of landlords, some good, some bad, but I don't need to tell you my story or the stories of my friends.
Mr. Mayor, I think you need to remind the public speakers that they are limited to the issue on the agenda, to the item
That's
on the
correct.
agenda.
We are talking
That is
about
correct.
interviewing
I am
attorneys
getting
today.
there. Yeah, thank you. I'm not even 40 seconds in. We all know the situation with housing here is untenable or untenable, as the case may be. That's why I'm here today to speak in regard to the hiring of the new city attorney. With housing as one of the most important issues facing our community, if not the most important one, it's imperative that the hired attorney has expertise at the state and local levels in tenant law, and that they be prepared to defend the rights of tenants against domineering landlords who have been too long afforded either the blind eye or the knowing complicity of the city.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, we do not, the attorney does not make policy. Miles Hagan? Yeah, thanks for the tutorial.
Hello. My name is Miles. I've lived in Santa Barbara for a little over 7 years. And I have lived in rat-infested homes. I've had a neighbor who lived in literally a converted shed. I've myself lived in a converted garage. And I know many people, just even one the other day that was forced out of a home because the landlord wanted to rent to his daughter, only to then.
Once again, can we bring it to the hiring of the subject on the agenda, please?
Absolutely. So I'm urging you guys to hire a city attorney that prioritizes following and enforcing all laws related to tenancy, right? To the struggle that working class people are experiencing in this town, and will do their best to affect change in landlords following the law. Thank you.
Zoila Cabrera?
Buenos días, miembros del concilio. Mi nombre es Zoila Cabrera. Estoy aquí para pedir que actúen con urgencia acerca de la estabilización de renta. En esperar más tiempo, nuestras familias están siendo afectadas porque propietarios están aumentando la renta seguidamente. Por ejemplo, nosotros, aparte de lo que pagamos, $5,000, $6,000 por mes, tenemos que costear el jardinero, el agua, utilidades, que viene siendo para una familia de bajos ingresos muy caro Santa Bárbara. Y estamos luchando aquí en Santa Bárbara porque tenemos nuestros trabajos locales, nuestros hijos van localmente a las escuelas y estamos luchando por décadas. Entonces ya es tiempo que nos apoyen a que pasen una estabilización de renta ahora. Gracias por su tiempo.
Gracias. Can't quite make out the first name, so Bailey? Thank you.
And I'll be pretty quick again. So the city attorney doesn't create policy, but they enforce it. And in this city, like in many cities, but especially in Santa Barbara, because it's touristy, there's a lot of landlords who don't have everything up to code, have illegal dwellings a lot of the time. I want the city attorney to actually enforce the city laws that are on the books. Also, we've seen in Chicago how like a landlord can call ICE, have them break into the building, blow up the building just about, force everyone out, and then all of a sudden they don't have tenants so they can renovate and everything. If that happens here, I want to see the city attorney prosecute the landlords that break the law so that they can go to jail. Thank you.
Okay, Andrea McCormick?
Good morning, Mayor Rouse and members of the council. As you consider candidates for our next city attorney, I urge you to prioritize a demonstrated commitment to upholding tenant rights and ensuring full compliance with state and local housing laws, especially the Tenant Protection Act and the Ellis Act. The city attorney's role is not only to defend city policies, but to guarantee that Santa Barbara's ordinances and enforcement policies align with state law. That means making sure that tenants are protected from unlawful evictions and that local implementation of rent and eviction protections is both fair and enforceable. Statistics from the Community Development Department demonstrate Ellis as the loophole in our just cause ordinance that landlords are abusing to displace tenants to list their properties vacant possession at a higher profit margin. With no effective system of tracking, we know these represent but a fraction of actual cases. Now, due to the delays in passing our rent stabilization ordinance, tenants stand at elevated risk. Landlords are threatening on record.
Thank you. Andrew Hawkins?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I'll be brief. I'm just here to underline everything everybody else has said about the hiring of a city attorney. I grew up in Santa Barbara, and I've seen way too many friends suffer for undue rent increases, years of deferred maintenance, and harassment. I yield my time.
Matthew Larkins.
Good morning, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Matthew Larkins, and I'm here today as a concerned resident and renter living in downtown Santa Barbara to talk about the hiring of the new city attorney. I just want to stress how important it is for us to hire a pro-tenant slash someone who's knowledgeable about rent stabilization ordinances in this city, because as some of the other city council members have stated, that the rent stabilization ordinance is going to happen at some point. Landlords and property owners are almost certainly going to try to challenge this to some degree, and it is important that the city tries to defend itself through any legal challenges that may be presented. Thank you. I yield my time.
Stanley Zankoff.
Good morning. So I know, choosing a city attorney, city administrator is some of the more consequential parts of your job. So thanks for being here early. This is something I trust and know that you will carry with you today and throughout the entire process. And obviously you are tasked with the job of representing the needs and priorities of our city and all its people. And you play that pivotal role in actually selecting an attorney that is qualified. As we hear, quite literally week after week, almost on a daily basis, of those of us who are making our tough decisions in terms of packing in tighter into units, commuting farther away from our families, maybe deciding which second job to take. I hope that you'll prioritize and keep that in mind to get a city attorney that our city deserves, that can really be an expert in housing justice and tenant protections. Because I worry that if we'll not doing that will create further delays. Thanks.
Thank you. And Daphne, and I believe the last name might be Bailey. Daphne?
No, Mr. Mayor, that's not possible,
Wait, no,
public
we don't do
comment.
that, yeah. No. All right, very good. Do we have any speakers online?
Yes, we have one speaker online, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, go right ahead.
Max Golding, please go ahead.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Go right ahead.
All right. Repeating everything everyone else said, but I will throw in that over the last, I think, year, the city attorney who was in place attempting to prosecute the 215 Bath landlords for their egregious mass displacement of, I think, 52 households, and now, they're mostly getting a whole bunch of students. I think it's EF, maybe it's something else, but they, they did succeed over like a 2-year fight, and the city did intervene. But my understanding is that there was essentially a settlement that was a slap on the wrist to the landlord, and I think that the new city attorney should be someone that maybe has a little bit more courage to actually pursue that kind of action further, because what happened here was it was a big sort of media show and there was controversy and stuff, but those landlords didn't really, they got their names dragged in the media a little bit, but.
Thank you, Mr. Golding. That's time. Thank you. Any further speakers online, Madam Clerk?
No further speakers online, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, very good. With that, we are going to adjourn to closed session. We don't anticipate a report out, and we are not going to reconvene today for regular session. Thank you very much.